Gosh, what an absolutely massive play to start the game.
Is he going to get the one shot? He gets the one-hit KO!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pokemon Mailbox. Yeah! This is week 4. Last time we had a special guest, Stump. This week we have a special guest, Dylan Patel!
This guy.
That guy. If you guys have watched my last Pokemon Feet video, that really awkward intro that sounds like the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, that's him!
Possibly.
And we thought, or I thought, not him, but I thought his expert opinion when it comes to Pokemon would be invaluable during this week's episode. Dylan, how much Pokemon have you played?
Enough.
Yeah! He has played at least one game?
No, like 6.
Like 6! That's pretty good. So we have a lot of great questions for you this week, and
Let's read them.
let's read them. First up, a guy by the name of Alex. Maybe it's a girl, but you got a good name, dude.
Yeah.
He asks...
Or a girl.
You have a good name for a girl. I've noticed that there is a distinct difference in terms of the style of team between what you see at most regional competitions and Worlds. Is this solely due to the best of 3 format, or is it also due to the level of competition at Worlds? Now, this is a great question, Alex. If anything, it's not going to be due to it being best of 3. Best of 3 works really well when your team's really consistent. If you're just playing best of 1, you're going through Swiss rounds, that's when you can pull out weird shit that people aren't ready for and you can win with it because they aren't expecting it. Best of 3, you really want a consistent team. The metagame for Worlds is something that is really, really, really interesting. It's like all of a sudden everybody just comes up with like super weird stuff because they know that all of their opponents are going to be very knowledgeable about the game, and to catch someone off guard, you really need something out of the ordinary. So it's not so much it being best of 3, but more of you really want something to try to catch these really experienced players off guard to try to give yourself a little bit of momentum.
Agreed.
Next up, question from Dan. What's your opinion on building a team around 1 Mega, 2 Megas, no Megas, or even bringing 2 Megas into battle and not Mega Evolving 1? Dylan, what do you think? I have an opinion, but I want to know Dylan's opinion.
I think it's pretty important to build, around 1 Mega.
1 Mega?
'Cause, like, it's like a core of a team.
Can you even name a Mega Pokemon?
Mega Kangaskhan?
Yeah! Yeah, I'm actually on Dylan's side with this. I usually go just around 1 Mega. I know a lot of people who do build with 2 Megas because you can kind of pick and choose in team preview what you think is going to work well. Yeah. And that works for a lot of people. It works for a lot of people, but it doesn't really work for me personally. I usually just like having that 1 Mega. A lot of people will also tell you like you have to have a Mega on your team. You don't. You definitely don't. It's all about what makes the team synergy work. So if the 2 Megas are going to make your synergy better and you can, take on a more diverse pool of opponents, do that. If you just want to do 1, I like doing 1. That's just me, though.
I like 2.
You just said you liked 1. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said 1 opponent. No.
No.
See.
No. Either will work. Anything works as long as it's more... Don't put yourself into these, like guidelines. Like these... Not a guideline. Don't put yourself into, like, these boxes of, oh, I have to have 1 Mega Pokemon on my team for it to be a great team. Or I have to have at least a Mega. Like, there's no solid box you have to conform yourself to. Just do what makes your team the best. Next question. Randy asks, how many generations of Pokemon do you think Game Freak will make until they finally stop? We're currently on 6. What do you think?
I think they're going to milk this for a while. I think they got a good 3 or 4 at least left. I mean, considering, as a child, I probably assumed they would have stopped after, like, 2.
And they were planning to stop after 2. I think I'm on the same page. I think if we ever hit Generation 10, like those double digits, that would be pretty hype. Because, they're going to have to stop eventually. They have to.
Sooner or later, I mean, the Pokemon are already really convoluted. But, like, sooner or later, there will just be, like, chair Pokemon, sticky pad Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Post-it note Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if they can make it to 10, I would be really excited. I think that would be like... That would be the hype for my life. 10 generations. Although I think they are basically... I mean, they're going to have to think up some pretty creative new Pokemon that aren't ice cream cones.
Or honeycombs.
Or garbage.
A garbage or a gear. It's like someone's like judging a Pokemon someone creates, like, oh, that's garbage. And he's just like, what?
This is great. Next up, Jackson He comes to us with a question that says, kind of long, which do you find more enjoyable? Battling with more rarely used and subsequently, in many situations, less powerful Pokemon? Or using the common things like Lando Bando, Mega Con, Talonflame? Your YouTube series often features unique Pokemon like Mantyke, Arcanine, and Raichu, but ultimately your goal is to win and you pick the team that you think will do best. Which is more enjoyable for you?
Winning.
Dylan likes to win. If I'm in a tournament, I'm going to play to win because you're there to win. If I'm just messing around online, I mean, I play a lot of Pokemon, so I got a little burnt out on the competitive scene, so that's why I'm playing with so much, like, you know, weaker stuff. I wouldn't have put Raichu in the weaker stuff category, and Arcanine right now is actually pretty useful, but, I mean, everything's got its use. More enjoyable, the worst stuff, I think, because it's fun when it works. But if I'm going out to play someone, like, I'm not going to handicap myself if I think something else that is better, you know, BST-wise, will do a better job. Next up, a guy named...
Foking J.
Foking J asks, hey Alex and Dylan, what do you think will be better in VGC 2015? Rain or Sun?
Oh, isn't it obvious? Sun.
Sun for you? I think... I've seen a lot of really strong Sun teams. They use Cherim and stuff, but I'm a little partial. I used Rain. For Nationals, I'm going to go with Rain, but I'm biased. I
agree.
But I like Rain. Rain is like that one weather that can beat all the other weathers if you can keep it up, because it super affects Tyranitar, super affects Ninetales, super affects all those guys, Charizard. If you can keep it up and you don't, you know, have to utilize your Mega for it. So, I like that, but we'll see. Anything except for like Hail, but no one runs a Hail team.
I think my opinion stands on itself, you know? Like Sun. You know, come on. Like everyone knows it's good stuff.
It's like warm.
Fire moves.
And fire moves. Next up, Jake asks, what's your favorite tanky Pokemon to run and with what kind of set? Favorite tanky Pokemon?
Well, I want to say Con again.
What is that?
Mega Kangaskhan.
Oh. That's your favorite Mega, your tanky Pokemon to go?
It's pretty tank-like.
Is that the only Pokemon you know?
Of course not.
Okay, well, I think so.
Ugh.
I really like Chansey. Eviolite Chansey with like max max defense, max special defense to really maximize the Eviolite, or instead of the special defense you could put in a HP.
You got a good point.
Yeah.
Kind
And
of
you know, you got to put the recovery on it, so you put soft boiled. You can give it protect if you're going to toxic stall, seismic toss to hit the steals, or even counter. Those are usually the moves I put on it to deal with it. So that's my favorite, and his is the only Pokemon that he knows.
Nuh-uh. Come on. I like Chansey.
You don't. No, you said Mega Kangaskhan was your favorite tanky Pokemon to run. It can't be tanky though. You're right. It only has one weakness.
Though.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
like it.
It's a good Pokemon. 7 comes from a guy named
Guiliano.
Must be Italian. I'd like to know your thoughts on Pokegen and stuff like that. Do you think it's okay to use Power Save or Pokemon generators to create Pokemon from scratch without breeding?
Oh, no. I despise it. But everyone's allowed to have their opinions.
Wait, what's your actual opinion? Is that your actual opinion?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to be politically correct?
No, I'm never politically correct. That's not my. It's not my jam.
So you say no to it?
Yeah, no way.
It's a very delicate issue that a lot of people have a lot of trouble with. If there was a button that I could push and say, hey, it's now impossible for everyone to Pokegen, would I push it? Yeah, I think so. I think if we could all force not force, but I think if, you know, the game came down to you have to breed your Pokemon, I think that's, you know, a little bit of the charm of Pokemon is breeding and catching your own Pokemon. But that being said, that's not true. That's not the case, and that'll never be the case. Because it's not the case, to me personally, if I'm in a tournament and I'm playing someone, if their Pokemon's legit, if they have stats that are legit, I don't care. I'm not here to see who took longer to breed. I'm here to see if I can beat someone at this game, right? So if their Pokemon is within legal confines, I'm personally okay with it. I mean, I played Ray when he had the Dream Ball Age of Slash, and the whole internet blew up about it. I can see your hands when you're doing that. The whole internet blew up about it, but like, even though he was my opponent, like, not even for a half a second did I want him disqualified because he was using something that was impossible to have happen. Like, the thing is, first of all, I didn't even catch it. I think that's super unique, and I know he didn't do it on purpose for a fact. There's no real reason to. If your Pokemon's legit, to me, that's all I care about. So that's my answer, but a lot of people, they're very varied on it.
Uh-huh.
But since it can't be, since it can't be, what's that word where you do this? Homogenized?
Sure.
Homogenized? Since you can't force everyone to breed, you know, since Pokegen does exist, like, I don't think it's worth getting upset about. Just deal with it if it's legal. That's my, like, you know, there's already so many things that are going on in the world that you can be upset about. Like, why that? If you want to breed, breed. If you don't, don't. Eh.
Fair.
Next up, from
Chris.
He asks, after you scored the one-hit KO against Adib Alam's Mega Kangaskhan in Match 3 of the 2014 Nationals Finals, what did you and Adib chat about on stage? If you had to guess what we chatted about, what do you think it was?
Mexican food.
We were he's into I mean, he's... What is he? Adib Alam. I don't know what his...
Well, I mean, you don't have to be Mexican to talk about Mexican food.
That's true.
But Adib Alam, that sounds Mexican.
I mean, he's not Mexican, but that's a good question. We actually weren't talking about the one-hit KO on the Kangaskhan. He sent out his Amoonguss as I sent out Talonflame, both at the same time, because we both lost a Pokemon on that turn. And he was just like, awkward, because once I'd sent out the Talonflame, the rest of the match had pretty much been played out. I could one-shot basically everything I had to from there, so... He just thought it was very, you know, just a friendly, funny friend comment between the fact that he sent out a mushroom and I sent out Talonflame, my banded Talonflame, and that was just kind of, it was just going to end from there. So it was a great guy, great opponent too. Next, JCal asks,
what kind of techniques can you suggest, or what are techniques you use to help deal with losses at a tournament? If I lose a game, it is sometimes hard for me to get my mind back into the game.
That's a good question, JCal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So in real life, Dylan, what do you implement yourself to deal with, like, loss?
I just always think, they got lucky. I'm better.
I'm better. The better player lost today. I actually have a video on this, JCal. I did at the start of last year's regional session about dealing with, you know, just the stress of going into a tournament. A lot of times you have to take every single individual game as its own little compartment, as its own little part. You can't go into a tournament thinking, okay, I need to win all these to win the tournament. All you have to think about is, I need to win this one game. How am I going to win this one game? Completely lock everything else out of your mind. Now, that's, you know, that's really hard to do, but that's my personal favorite way to deal with it. It takes a lot of practice, and it's definitely hard. Like, tilt is definitely a thing that people go on. If you start losing and losing and losing, like, you just start making mistakes and stuff, and you start hating yourself, and you really just got to take it all out of context. You're not there. Pokemon was never meant to be a competitive game. In fact, I said this in the article Nintendo Enthusiast just wrote up on me. I'll actually put that in my description because it's a cool little article. Pokemon was never meant to be a competitive game. There's too much luck involved. You know, there's not that there's not skill involved. There is. There's a ton of skill involved. But there's also a lot of luck that can happen, and even the best players, you know, a great run. Even if you'd set up everything perfectly to win, something really strange could happen, really low odd, you know, occurrence could happen. So you kind of just got to deal with it and just focus in on this one game. Try to lock everything else out of your mind and don't think about the larger picture. You can't go to a Pokemon event and expect to win. It's just not how this game works. Last regional I went to, I lost a game because of a Quick Claw activation, critical hit all in the same turn. That happened all in the same turn, and that's what, like, basically my opponent needed to win. And you know, that's really tough to deal with, and I just had to focus up, exclude that. I won the next couple, and then I lost to a double freeze. He froze on Amoonguss and my Kangaskhan, and they never thawed the whole game. And you know, at that point I was out of the tournament, but there's not a lot you can do about that. So just kind of focus on your one game. Go to play Pokemon because you like Pokemon. Go to hang out with your friends. Don't go to win, because stuff like that can happen. And you know, sometimes you can play around it. Like, maybe I could have been a little bit smarter about certain things. But, you know, you play to the odds, and sometimes the odds just aren't in your favor. And finally, last question of the day comes from someone named Dakota. Dakota asks, hey Alex, big fan of your videos. Thanks. Question for you. What is a good item in nature for Amoonguss? I see a lot of people use a wide variety of natures and items. Also, a suggestion to an EV spread would be amazing. What do you think?
I like,
Do you know who Amoonguss is?
yeah, of course. It's a mushroom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, a good item. Focus Sash. Why not? And nature, you know, I like a good happy Amoonguss.
Happy Moonguss. Okay, well, that's great. I don't... Yeah, that's not a real nature in Pokemon, but that's okay.
I was hoping you'd correct me.
And by happy, you mean bold?
Yeah, see? They're synonyms.
One of my favorite Amoongusses to run is actually Adib Alam's own Amoonguss he brought to Nationals. It's a citrus berry one. I'll just put up a little picture of it here for you guys because I really think it's fantastic. So that's one of my favorite ones to run. I really like citrus berry on it. I know a lot of people run Rocky Helmet, and I'll do that sometimes. Depending on the metagame, you're either going to be more, physically or you're especially defensive. Right now, I put a lot of physical defense into my Moonguss. But check out Adib's. I'm just right here. And yeah, I would check that out. Yeah, that's it for this week. Yeah, right, Dylan?
Uh-huh.
Don't forget to check out our stream, because we stream sometimes. Right, Dylan?
It's true. We do it well.
What do we do?
Well.
Yeah, we have a good time. And, there's a lot of Pokemon to be had. There's a lot of other things to do.
Drink apple juice.
Drink apple juice. We have the quesadilla cam. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? And, yeah, it's a good time. So I'll put the Twitch link in the description, so check us out sometime. Because Dylan's here quite frequently for the streams.
I try.
Yeah. In fact, it's kind of his stream. It's not even my stream.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, he does a good job. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here. And final words.
Hello.
You say that at the end of all of my videos, and it kind of pisses me off. All right, and I'll say goodbye. Bye, everyone. See you next time.